guys, I'm Lakshya. Today I'm here to explain you class 9th NCERT of Forest, Society and Colonialism. Done. So starting with this chapter, in 1700 to 1995, the year 1700 to 1995. So this is the industrialization time or industrialization period, where the industries were established and the forest started disappearing. So the forest disappearance have started at this period, and for the cultivation. So cultivation started, cultivation of pastures, cultivation of fuel wood also began in vast majority, in vast number in this period. Where and the next one will be the deforestation. Why deforestation? So deforestation, the meaning of deforestation will be, it is a term referred as the disappearance of forest, and the deforestation is suffered by, this is the problem facing by many other countries in the world. Deforestation or disappearance, or it is nothing but disappearance of forest. And the next one is land to be improved. In 1600s, 1/6 of the population are depending only upon agriculture. Later, the population has increased to half the percent of population is depending upon agriculture, as the food became ultimate source of energy for every local villages. So for every organism. So they started depending upon the agriculture. They started to cultivate the crops like sugar. They started cultivating rice, wheat, sugar, etc. In this 1600s, as the demand for food has increased among the population, among the people. On the other hand, the peasants, the Britishers, they also started encouraging the peasants to grow up the crops, to cultivate the crops, because the Britishers, they were only looking for the commercial production. So they are only looking for commercial production, as the production for sugar, wheat, cotton and jute. The demand for these crops had increased in the Europe countries. So the demand for these crops has increased in the Europe countries. Thus the Britishers, they also encouraged the Indians, they also encouraged the peasants to cultivate the crops more. So this made the forest clearance, this made the forest disappearance. So as this will be one of the reasons for forest disappearance. And the peasants, they also started to break down the lands. They started to make new lands. They started to break the lands and started to make new lands. And in 1880, in the year 1880 to 1920, in this years, in 1880 to 1920, you have 6.7 million hectares of land being cleared. 6.7 million hectares of land being cleared in these periods. And the next one will be the sleepers on the tracks. So what are sleepers firstly? Sleepers are the wooden planks laid across the railway tracks, where they hold the tracks in the position. So sleepers, you have a let's make a story like this here. In the Britain country, so the oak trees are disappearing in the Britain. oak trees are so these oak trees are used for the timber. So to produce timber, they mostly use oak trees. So why timber is important? So timber is useful to make up the Royal Navy ships and to make the sleepers. As we know, sleepers are the wooden planks. Okay, to make the wooden planks, to make the sleepers, they usually use this timber. So to make the Royal Navy ship and to make the sleepers, they use this timber. But the timber, the oak trees are disappearing in the Britain countries, in the Britain. So the British officials were sent to different countries to search out for the timber. Where could they find timber for their own production? So they went, all the officers, Britain officers, they went to different places to find for timber, but they found large amount in our India. So they invaded, all the Britishers, they invaded into our country and set up few industries. And they started cutting off the timber, they started chopping off the timber for their own uses. So they made a setup in our country and they started to use timbers as well. So in the year 1890 to 1946. 1890 to 1946, you have 1890 to 1946, you have 25,500 kilometers to 7,65,000 kilometers. Sleepers were laid. Okay, sleepers were laid. And next, each mile of railways, each mile of railway tracks, they required 1,760 sleepers to 2,000 sleepers. This, imagine how many trees were cut down, how many timber trees were cut down to just lay sleepers. So this is one of the reason to for the disappearance of the forest. You can just imagine how many trees were cut between these years 1880 to 1946, where they lay where the sleepers are used to lay 25,500 kilometers to 7,65,000 kilometers. The next one, yeah. And the next one will be, okay, after this sleepers, you have sleepers, all of the tracks were laid, and the next one will be the plantations. The forest, you have the British colonial government. So what happened here is the British colonial government, they had given all the agricultural lands to European planters. They gave the agricultural lands to European planters because the European planters, the Britishers, they asked to European planters to only plant tea and coffee beans. Tea and coffee beans, because the demand for tea and coffee beans has increased in the Europe. Then after this you have the second part will be rise of commercial forestry. So coming back to the rise of commercial forestry, you have the Britishers, they were worried about the Britishers worried that, as we know, the timber trees were cut down by all British officers, but they thought if local people they start cutting the timber trees, how to as the Britishers are cutting the local trees, the British are cutting the timber trees, okay, but if the local people uses the timber trees, they can be disappeared. The timber trees can be disappeared if the timber trees are also used by local people. How can we stop this? Because as we know, in the previous sleepers, in the sleepers tax, as we know, in Madras, the presidency alone, 35,000 trees were cut annually. I mean, it is 35,000 trees were cut annually, 35,000 timber trees were cut annually. So thinking that, so if local people also uses the timber trees can be easily disappeared. The timber trees easily can be destroyed. So thinking that, so they appointed Dietrich Brandis. Dietrich Brandis, he was the first Dietrich Brandis, he was the first Inspector General of Forest in India. So he made a proper plan. Who is he? He was the first Inspector General of Forest in our India. He made a proper plan. He made few rules. He made few restrictions and made few punishments. So he made few rules like the local people who are there, they are restricted not to graze their shepherds in the forest. If they make their shepherds to graze, you can get punishment. They must be punished. So he made few rules like this. Who Dietrich Brandis as well. Not only rules, he brought IFS. IFS mean Indian Forest Service. So he brought IFS in the year 1864. IFS, Indian Forest Service in 1864. And you have the Act, Indian Forest Act. Okay, let me write down. Okay, here, Indian Forest Act in the year 1865, guys. In the Indian Forest Act in the year 1865. Done. And the next one, okay, after this, so the Dietrich Brandis, he made Indian Forest Act in 1865 and Imperial Forest Research Institute was set up at Dehradun. Imperial Forest Research Institution was set up at Dehradun, and they were taught scientific forestry. Now let's learn what is scientific forestry. As the local people, as the national forests, they have different types of species. They include different types of species like to satisfy the different types of needs. As local forest, national forests include different types of species like oak trees, bamboo trees, sugar trees, sugarcane trees, or they include cotton, jute, rice, etc. But the scientific forestry, or you have plantations. The scientific forestry means it only includes the single type of tree. Okay, the single type of tree. Only the single type of crop must be sown in all the regions in a piece of land. In a piece of land, a single type of plant, a single type of crop must be sown in straight rows. So this type of plantation, this type of agriculture is called as the plantations. This is called as plantations. Then plantations. And now let's go for the next one. Okay, after the plantations you have the forest. Okay, the forest officials, they surveyed and they estimated that the area under different types, and they made few working plans to manage the forest. And as I said, the Dietrich Brandis, he came and he introduced IFS in 1864. Indian Forest Act was made in 1865 and this act was amended 2 times. This act was amended twice, so once in 1878 and the second time, and once in 1878 and once in 1927. Once in 1878 and once in 1927. Let me write down here. 1927. So this act was amended 2 times. Once in 1878 and the second time in 1927. So in 1878, so the forest has divided into 3 major groups. So the first group will be the reserved forest. The first one will be it has divided into 3 major groups. The first one will be the reserved forest, and the second one will be the protected forest. And the third one will be the village forest. Okay, 3 major forests: reserved forest, protected forest, and village forest. So here the people who are there, the local people or the villagers are there restricted to not take natural resources, to not use natural resources from the reserved forest, but they can use the natural resources from the protected and from the village forest. If they overcrosses the rules, they might be punished, and they must be punished. And the next one, however the lives affected. Now let's learn about how were people lives affected. Now in this you have the forest officials and the villagers. The forestry and the villagers, they have different types of ideologies. So the forest officers, they have an ideology like they need only single type of crop in a large amount. They need a single type of crop, either it would be sugar, either it would be rice, either it would be wheat, but they need a single type of crop in large amount. As the villagers, they need different types of crops. They need different species as the national forest contains, as the national forest consists of. They need a different combination of trees to satisfy their different kinds of needs. Either it would be bamboos to make baskets and umbrellas, etc. So like this, they need to satisfy their need. So the different types of species can satisfy their different types of needs. So I think you understood today's video, Forest Society and Colonialism. I will be back again with a new one, this next part as soon as possible. Till then, take care. Bye bye.